Women fall in love a lot slower than men. Getting back to what I said earlier, when a guy meets a woman, he can instantly have a really high level of attraction to her. Women take a lot longer to fall in love. A woman needs to trust a guy before she will open herself up to even the possibility of committing her emotions. A man is basically ready to make love at the drop of a hat, and his emotions are instantly engaged. For a woman, romance is the whole experience of the dating scene. It's about the mysterious love story unfolding just like in a book. Google Corey Wayne, women want to be in a love story, and Corey Wayne, what women are attracted to in men. She never knows what's going to happen next. It's a scientific fact that women are more attracted to men whose feelings are unclear. It's the experience of the courtship that turns a woman on emotionally. Part of the experience is the anticipation, wondering where she stands, what's going to happen next, or when you're going to call. Some women will say they don't like these things, but I have found continuously that these things do have a positive effect on their level of attraction. If they are starting to wonder about you, it is also engaging their emotional input. Most women can involve themselves in an intimate relationship until their emotions are engaged, which is the exact opposite of men. Because it is an important point to stress, I'm going to say it again. Women fall in love slower than men fall in love. The whole experience for her involves how you ask her out, when you call her on the phone, as well as the anticipation of what is going to happen on a date. It is where you go on a date, how you handle yourself, how you handle the others around you, and how you handle her. Consciously or unconsciously, men and women both keep score when they meet someone, are dating someone, or are with someone they're interested in. It's not an actual scoring system, but they do keep track of the things the other person does to either raise or lower their level of attraction. Let me give you an idea of how men and women differ in their thoughts on a sample date. Women have their own rating systems that is totally separate from guys' systems. Men think, okay, I bought her flowers, that's worth a point. I took her out on a nice dinner, there's another point. I took her dancing afterwards. That has to be worth another point. See how this all adds up so quickly in a guy's mind? They're just bribed for sex. The same date from a woman's point of view is going to go something more like this. He took me on a date. He was attentive to me. That's worth a point. He didn't check out that beautiful waitress, even when she was sort of flirty with him. There's a big point. He referred back to something earlier in the conversation. That means he was actually listening to what I said. I give him 2 points for that one. I felt so relaxed and comfortable with him. He even made me laugh. That's another 2 points in my book. I actually feel as though I could trust him more now that I'm getting to know him. He is definitely doing the right things to raise my attraction level. If you want to win a woman's trust, gentlemen, and ultimately win her heart, you have to understand how she thinks. You have to understand what is important to her. A woman needs to feel safe to open up to her heart. She needs to trust you. She needs to know that her heart will be protected. The way you do that is to allow her to feel safe to be in her feminine energy, by making sure that she can feel certain you are in your masculine energy by being the leader and leading things to a successful conclusion in the bedroom. I like to meet out for a drink first. And why? If you decide you don't like her, it's easy to leave. If things go well, then you can order appetizers and maybe dinner. Have 2 or 3 places close by that you can go to if things go well. Maybe go to a second place for darts, to shoot pool, a wine bar, bowling, miniature golf, etc. If she has a high level of comfort and you're sure you really like her, you can pick her up at her place like a gentleman. You open the door, you take her to some place fun. The higher her attraction and comfort, the more likely you'll be able to simply go pick her up like a gentleman. The lower her interest, the less she knows you. The more standoffish she will be, and the harder it will be to get to her front porch. The key is to take her someplace fun, and maybe a place she's never been before. With smartphones and Google Maps installed, you should always be able to quickly find cool places to go or things to see. If you take a woman to 2 to 3 different places in one evening, it's like the experience of multiple dates on one night. And why? Most guys go to dinner and then take her home. The average woman will sleep with a guy after 2 to 3 dates. Give them a fun experience at multiple places close to one another in the same evening, and you will dramatically increase your chances of scoring quickly. Guys tend to dwell on all the physical attributes of the date, while women focus on the emotional attributes. It's the experience of having a nice dinner, drinks, doing something fun, great conversation, and just having a good time. Whatever it is that you're doing, it's the whole experience of the date, not just what you do or where you take her. It can't be, I took her to dinner and great, now I'm ready to go home and have sex. Women just don't operate that way. They warm up to you, or have to. You have to build a trust level with her and level of comfort. Their hearts open a lot slower because it's all about the whole emotional experience. The more comfortable they feel and the higher their attraction, the sooner they will start touching your arm, sit or stand too close to you where their body is touching yours, and they'll play with their hair or something like that. When a woman bumps into you or starts touching you, it means touching is okay. If you look at her lips and then into her eyes and then down at her lips and then back into her eyes, over the course of 4 to 5 seconds when you are close, and she looks at your lips too, that means she's ready to be kissed. Kissing and making out lead to heavy petting and affection. Then you can say something like, hey, let's get out of here and go back to my place. I've got a great bottle of wine we can enjoy, or coffee, champagne, tea, or espresso, depending on your drink of choice. Google Corey Wayne successfully deflowering your virgin girlfriend. If she's ready, she will say yes. If not, she will just suggest hanging out where you are. Don't get upset, or you'll blow it. Just keep having fun and touching, etc. Ask her again in an hour or so when the affection and making out gets heavy again. When a guy meets a woman, often he starts coming on real heavy. He starts talking about relationships. He starts talking about dating. When a woman says to you, I'm not looking for a relationship, she's really saying, whoa, slow down. I just want to have fun. I need to trust you and feel comfortable with you before the option is even on the table. Again, that's why you don't need to say things like, oh, you were so beautiful. I had an incredible time the other night. Coming from a guy she barely knows, one that has not taken the time to get to know her. These things mean little or nothing. Plus, they can come off as a bribe for sex instead of an authentic compliment from the heart. They do not work to raise her level of attraction. All it does is to make you look like a guy who is needy, someone that is very insecure. Plus, these are things women usually say, but more of a man than her. Be more of a man than her. It will actually lower her level of attraction, and you either won't get a date at all, or you won't get a second date. If you've been in a relationship for a while, compliments without the other actions behind them can even cause her to eventually dump you. Because she sees no worth behind the words, she no longer feels emotionally safe, and she will start looking for someone that can make her feel that way. Women are like cats, and men are like dogs. No matter what you do with a dog, he's a man's best friend. A dog will never leave you, no matter what happens. Dogs will come right up and demand attention from anyone, even a friendly looking stranger that appeals to them. They don't understand the concept of rejection if a stranger pushes them away. They'll come right back for more. Dogs feel an instant attraction, an instant affection for a total stranger, and run around obeying commands at the drop of a hat. When was the last time you saw a cat take commands from anyone? Women are like cats. They come and go as they please, and you must let them. If you don't, you will destroy the level of safety and comfort with you. They do what they want, when they want, and with whom they want. You can call a cat, but it will only come to you if it feels like it. Many times they will give you that bored, sleepy stare that says, who do you think you're kidding? Cats look around a crowded room of strangers and will go only to the one they feel comfortable being with. The one they know for certain will give them the affection they want. Google Corey Wayne, women are like cats and men are like dogs. If a cat doesn't know you, it will often run and hide. At the very least, it will stay back and watch you carefully before it decides you are worthy of its approach and attention. Cats might kind of stroll by and look over and see you, and then pretend to ignore you and move on. Then the cat may come back a minute or two later, come into the room, and walk around and look at you and then turn around and leave. The cat may come back again a few minutes later and walk a little circle around you, maybe brush up against your leg and then take off. A few minutes later, that cat may come back and go around in between your legs, rubbing up against you with its tail in the air, and then all of a sudden sit down and start purring. So cats are a lot more particular about who they will give their affection to. For some strange reason, they will only even decide that the only person in the room that doesn't like cats is the only one deserving of their attention. Don't take it personally. When a woman leaves a conversation or your group, let her go. If you go after her, she will feel your weakness instead of your strength. When you don't chase, she will come back as long as her attraction is high. When a woman senses weakness in a man, they will become flaky and unsure. When they leave you and don't chase, they will later feel attraction and come back. In order to entice a cat to your side, you must have to be patient and let it come to you. If your moves are too sudden, too quick, or too aggressive, you'll send a cat fleeing from your side on and into hiding. Cats have to be encouraged. They let you know when it's okay to touch them by rubbing up against you or coming over to sit in your lap. If you don't hold the cat properly or pet it in the wrong way, it will leave, and once that happens, it becomes twice as hard to coax it back to you. Until the cat is coming to you and letting you know it is okay to engage it, you have to stand fast and hold your ground. No matter what the cat does or how it tests you, you need to be indifferent. You need to let it not meeting your expectations roll off you as though it does not bother you, or that you would care less, one way or another, what it does. The cat is testing you, much like a woman tests you. If you are aggressive, which is a sign of neediness, then you are chasing after the cat, and it is going to run away. If you come off as weak and needy, then you are no longer worthy of their time. Women are very much like cats. You have to get to the point where, no matter what a woman does, it doesn't move you off center. You cannot move quickly or be too aggressive. You also have to treat the beautiful woman just like you would treat the women you absolutely have no interest in. It is not about being rude to her, but you have to not let her know beauty affects you. Like the cat, she's drawn to the one that seems to be least affected by her. And women and men, for that matter, are naturally attracted to most dominant members of the opposite sex. The old saying goes, curiosity killed the cat. Cats are curious creatures. They will keep checking something out as long as they're curious about it. Once they've figured it out just what that something is, they become bored and walk away. The same thing is true with women. You need to stop them. You need to keep them wondering. You need to keep them curious. If you tell them everything about you and they they can see all there is to know, the mystery's gone, and they move on.